So when do you quit beating a dead horse? In other words, you've been marketing, you've been putting stuff out there, no obvious return,
Yeah. So
where,
you think
how
about
do
it in
you
terms of,
decide?
you think in terms of channels, right? So even in terms of your relationships and that footwork that we talked about at the beginning or just earlier, each of those would be a channels. I've got my real estate agent channel. I've got my builder channel. I've got my insurance agent channel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Facebook is a channel. Instagram is a channel. TikTok is a channel. Email marketing is a channel. Cold call is a channel. Door knocking is a channel. These are all different marketing channels that we're going and speaking to people inside of these channels. You got to figure out what's working, what's giving a return. Be careful, because what are you measuring your return on? Um, you know, you can, it's hard because, Google Ads is they've done a really good job of measuring ROI for the most people. There's a whole debate as to how accurate it is and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I can look at how much money I put into Google and how many people clicked on that ad. And so they give me a real metric, and not all marketing channels are like that. There's no, it's very difficult to quantify how much the relationship is that you're building today, this month, what the ROI of it is this month, this quarter, this year. But maybe in 8 years, that relationship is the primary source of your best deals,
Right.
right? And so you don't sit there and throw a number at it, right away. It takes time. And so how much time do you give to all these channels? I think the the ones where you're spending a ton of money consistently month to month, you need to scrutinize a lot more. If you're spending money on Google Ads, within 6 months, you really need to be scrutinizing whether this is valuable or not. Especially if you're seasonal, you need to worry about the times that you're running these and when you're getting a return and stuff like that. But that's when you need to really scrutinize. When you're, you know, posting organically to something, like you're just posting to Facebook without paying anything, give it more time, because you're not spending any money on it. Maybe it's taking you some time on your schedule or your admin schedule. That's why I don't really recommend outsourcing a lot of this, because you're paying a bunch of money, but you may not get a return right away. It's better to outsource maybe just the foundation of it, the strategy, the creative, and then get the system in place to be able to run it yourselves so you can do it for a longer period of time. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how I would think about it. It's in terms of when to give up. I mean, it's so specific, but let's just go to the bathroom remodeler. If I'm posting content to social and I'm not getting any engagement um, at all in social, no one's seeing it, no one's clicking on it, no one's liking it, no one's commenting, no one's referencing it in conversations, then you probably need to give up. But most of the time, you're going to be posting to social, and sometimes it's just a credibility thing. Someone found you and they talked to you, then they went and looked at your social and they saw it, and that's what got them over the edge. So it's still valuable to be posting there. Um, Sometimes it's, oh, I was following you on Instagram for 2 years, and then we were ready, and so I called you, or I searched you on Google and I clicked on your ad, and then you're saying that now I'm saying that my Google ad gave me this job, but really it's because you followed me on Instagram for 2 years that,
Right.
uh, you know, so be careful with your attribution. But I think the most important question you can ask your customers is, how did you hear about us? And don't give like a radio select of like this channel, this channel, this channel. Ask them the story, get really hear that story. And if you're not hearing the channel mentioned in any stories from your customers about how they heard you, it's probably time to move on.
Right.
So
Well, yeah, what's the old Coca-Cola deal? We know we waste half our marketing budget. We just don't know which half,
yeah,
you know, they're, but they're branding, they're truly branding, and they have the time and resources to sit and wait until that Coca-Cola sign off in the distance actually prompted you to buy a Coca-Cola.
yeah.
So
Here's another
no,
one
that
that I didn't mention in terms of relationships that I've seen work for a window remodeler, um, because he did it on our house. Where does he get almost all of his leads, if you had to guess?
somebody like Angie's List, which is not Angie's List anymore.
No,
Where does he get his leads?
Home Depot. He made buddy
Oh,
buddy
really?
with the guy at Home Depot, and that guy has his business cards. He's best friends. They're good friends. He takes them out for beers, all that kind of stuff. But he gets multiple jobs and like 6, 7, so several jobs a week just from the guy at Home Depot. And it's not,
Who have bought they buy their windows from Home Depot
yeah, he
and
just
he
does the
puts them in,
installation.
or
He just does the
yeah,
installation. Yeah, he just installs windows, and it's not like a formal agreement with Home Depot. It's literally
right.
just the guy at Home Depot. And so, that's another way of going to market is, hey, people that are remodeling their bathroom want a new vanity or whatever it is. And so they're going to Home Depot or Lowe's and looking at it and talking to one of the people there. Why not get to know those people and say, hey, if you ever meet anybody that wants to put this kind of stuff in, let me know. And maybe it is a smaller job for you that you typically wouldn't do, but it's a great starting point of getting to know some people. And yeah, maybe they do want a vanity. And so you talk to them and then they realize, oh, we actually need like a lot more work done here. It would be really cool if we actually move the sink to this spot, knock out this wall. All of a sudden it becomes a real job for you. But yeah,
Yeah, one of the main takeaways from the whole thing is you got to be out there.
got to be out there.
I mean, it does work. Uh, I know instances where the social media just totally does it all, but most people kind of think they'd like to create a campaign and sit back and wait for the leads to roll in, and
Hey,
it's
that I've
possible,
seen it
but
work.
it's not enough.
It can
Yeah,
happen, but it's just you've got to have a lot of pieces in place to make it happen so easily.